What's up, yo? Welcome to Books by Adrian. Today we're going to be doing the AuthorTube Newbie Tag 2.0. But Adrian, you've been on AuthorTube for well over a year now. Yes, and my subscribers have grown in number. Maybe it's time that these newbies get to know me. If you are already subscribed, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to drop a like. It's very important. It helps the channel grow. If this is your first time here, welcome. I hope you enjoy the video. Make sure you drop a like and stick around till the end of the video to find out what the comment section is going to be hopping about. After all this fun, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. On this channel, I chronicle my process of writing, editing, producing, and ultimately publishing my debut novel, which we will be talking about at length throughout this video. My channel is made up of trailers for the book, live stream Sundays, which is kind of my flagship show, where I interview a different author or an industry professional that somehow relates to either my book or writing in general. For example, we've had best-selling author Nina Moreno on to talk about traditional publishing, but we've also had Stephanie Straffus, an employee of the State Department who has traveled the world and lived in over 5 countries in as many years, to talk about world building. On top of that, occasionally when the time becomes available, I do original videos like this one. And if you're a member of my Patreon, you get access to some Black Sales reaction videos and some Breaking Bad commentary videos. YouTube versions coming soon. All of my links are in the description below, including my store, my Discord server, my Patreon, as well as my website. New podcast episodes coming soon, and much, much more, so stick around. Question number 1. Pitch your book. Mythic, Shadow of the Spark, is the first book in a trilogy. This one being a murder mystery set in a sci-fi fantasy futuristic world. We follow 3 different protagonists who are all involved in the same overall plot, but each have their own journey. Therefore, there can be up to 3 different pitches for this book. I'll give you one here. Migdalia Vandersea is a good cop that dreams of being a detective. She's unexpectedly promoted to her dream position and given a case that any other detective would consider open and shut. But her life and career both change drastically when the case turns out to be much, much more complicated. This homicide case leads her down a trail of corruption, organized crime, the occult, and at the center of it all, a sadistic serial killer. Will she discover the killer and reveal his secrets in time to save both his next victim and her career? You'll have to read the book to find out. If you were a book, how would you pitch yourself? The story of a husband and father with a newly discovered drive to succeed. He uses talents developed over his many years and learns more from talented artists all around him to become the best writer he can be. He will stop at nothing to overcome all odds and publish his first debut novel. And all of this only to turn around and do it again and again as a full-time self-published author. Question 3. What do you usually write? I love fantasy, sci-fi, as well as crime dramas and psychological thrillers. I tend to mix and match genres when I'm writing, so my novel, for example, is all of the things that I just listed, all of them. I love to not only mix genres but styles and pay homage to great stories and writers that I love while sharing what comes from inside my heart and brain. I hope to always add new genres into what I write and continue to, explore my limits. I just want to add to my arsenal as I improve my craft. What's something you'll never write? Never say never. If I have an idea for a good story, I'll write it, regardless of what it's about. What's your goal for creating an author platform? Well, I've been at this for a little over a year now, and looking back on it all, I feel my goal has been clear from the beginning and continues to dominate my work, regardless of how much change in style and content goes through my channel and will continue to change through my channel. Ultimately, I am documenting the creation of my novel while reaching out to like-minded readers and writers who enjoy the same kind of stories that I do and relate to some of the same things that I do, so as to grow a readership and a community that will be excited for my books when they actually come out. What made you want to start writing? I've always been a storyteller in some form, even if I didn't know it. In the 4th grade, my best friend and I, it might have been the 3rd grade. In the 3rd grade, my best friend and I performed at the school talent show. And what we did was we took the dentist bit of comedy from Bill Cosby himself. A despicable monster now that we know the truth, of course, but at the time he was a hero of mine. And we performed it as a comedy duo at the school talent show. The entire lineup for the night consisted of girls dancing and boys playing an instrument of some kind. And so my friend and I stood out with our act as we were just the standout. We had the whole auditorium laughing, like roaring. And it wasn't just that we were doing what is inarguably good comedy that we stole from Bill Cosby, but it's because also we made it our own. You know, we came in sort of costume and we had sound effects. So like when the dentist was drilling, you could hear a drill, and when he was picking with the hook, we had like the snorts of the distorted snorts of a pig that sounded like, you know, like scratching and picking. So we had like a production, you know what I mean? Like, and so we just had people rolling, and you know, all we did is add visual and audible substance to what was already there. And I think this is where my love of storytelling began, because that whole chunk is a story in and of itself. I mean, it's got an arc, for Christ's sake. What is your publishing path? Self-published, traditional published, hybrid, haven't decided yet, or just writing for fun? My plan when I started this channel, and officially it currently is still the same plan, is to self-publish this novel myself. However, I am also completely open to wonderful things happening if they can, and you know, I'm here for it. Ultimately, I'm going to choose the best possible route, not only for myself as an author, but also for the book as a product. My book's success is paramount here. Like that's the whole point. What content do you bring to the writing community on YouTube? In addition to videos about the writing process, which I have done a few in the past, or videos on themes or aspects of fiction. You know, I have an episode on serial killers because there's a serial killer in my book. So I have a whole episode just talking about serial killers for like 20 minutes. And ultimately it's aimed at, you know, helping writers have source material, or to see how I do things and glean any kind of positivity that they can from that to put into their own projects, because that's what I do. I learn from everybody around me and everybody on AuthorTube and everybody everywhere. I just learn from people. So anything I know, I learned from someone else or someplace else, or a book or something. I also do a show called Livestream Sunday. Most Sundays. I usually take major Sunday holidays off. The show is always at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on this show, I interview a guest live. I don't like to say interview. I have a conversation with a guest live, usually with a decent audience in the chat, and a strong replay value. I like to put lots of visuals and cool little animations into my live events, so that folks who miss it still have something cool and interesting to look forward to when they rewatch the replay. The guests usually have something to do with either writing or content that you can find in my book in particular, or they might be an author in their own right. If entertainment is more your speed, check out my Patreon, where you can find reaction videos to Black Sails and commentary videos to Breaking Bad. Those commentary videos are where it's at for Breaking Bad. I'm proud of those. What is your biggest writing struggle? Actually finding the time to sit down and write. I you know, as well as the drive, you know, the two things together to sit down and do the work, you know, because that deadline gets closer whether I write or not. And, you know, sometimes I don't know what to write. It happens to everybody. So actually doing the writing is, I think, the biggest struggle. My second struggle as a writer would be writing in the first person. I don't like doing it. I don't like reading it. I have read great stories written in the first person, but I'm not very good at it. What is your best writing skill? I'm very visually oriented. When I write anything, I'm trying to create a cinematic experience. If you've been writing for a while, what's your best tip? I don't really have tips. I consider myself a novice, a beginner. I just want to write the best story that I can. So I learn from better writers around me. If you're looking for tips on how to write better, there are so many other author tubers who do that better than me. I'm here to share with you, to learn from you and provide you with access to others who I learn from that can teach you too. If you're new to writing, what is your biggest question? How in the hell does one write more than one book, more than one novel in a year? How? There's writers out there who have written 5 novels in 1 year, and I'm sitting here like it's taken me a year and a half to get this far. I just finished my first draft. What am I not getting? Thank you so much for joining me today for this. It was a lot of fun. Shorter than I expected, but a whole lot of fun. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below. Look through my channel, and if anything interests you, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so when I do go live for live stream Sundays, for example, you will get notified and you will not miss it. And lastly, leave a comment down below letting me know what your dream project is. The one that either you set aside because you're not ready to tackle it yet, or the one that you are working on right now. Just the dream project, the one that you think might define you as an artist. Tell me about it in the comments below. Thanks again for being here. I've been Adrian. You've been great. And I'll see you next time on Books by Adrian.